My name is Mr. McPike, and today we're going to be going over the low organized tag game called Bump. So let's get started. For Bump, this is a great game for pretty much all ages, from kindergarten to grade 12. The type of activity, it's a multi-skill game or a warm-up cool-down game. Space needed, you could pretty much play this anywhere if you have a large gym area, a medium space like a multi-purpose room, or even you could even play it in a field or a park. You just want to make sure you have some boundaries set up. So the equipment you're going to need is pretty low key. You're basically just going to need some sort of ball. For me, I use the gator skin balls or the dodge balls. You could also use balloons. And then you're going to need some sort of hiding spot. So I use hula hoops. You could also use skipping ropes as well. And the type of skill that's practiced during this game is primarily agility, dodging, and running. And thank you to FitKid.HealthyKid.ca for this game idea. So what happens at the beginning of the game is you're going to pick out two taggers, and they're going to have the dodgeball in their hand, as you can see. And the other students are going to be the runners, and they're going to go out into the gym space and try to flee from the taggers. And as you can see here, the little blue student right here has found a spot in the hula hoop, in the yellow hula hoop there, and they're allowed to hide for 5 seconds, and then they have to leave. Same with the black student in the green hula hoop. They can hide for 5 seconds, and then they have to leave. I always tell my students that there is a 5-second rule, and you're not allowed to go to the same hula hoop. So no going back into the same hula hoop you just left. You have to find a new one before you can go back to it. So what usually happens is you'll have a student run over to another one, and so the blue student runs over to the black, and they might say, "Oh, bump." And what that means is that the black student in that green hula hoop has to leave. Now, sometimes what happens is students get really excited, and the blue student might run in really fast and push the black student over. So just make sure your students are being safe. So let's see, blue student says bump, and he gets inside of the hoop, and the black student has to run away. Now, as the taggers get involved, they'll run out, they'll try to tag other students. Now, they cannot throw the dodgeball for the first version of this game. So if they run over to a student and tag them, as we can see, the green student tagged the other green student, and this black student tagged the orange student. So what happens is they give the student that they tagged the ball, and then they can run away. So now we have two new taggers. And one rule that I always make sure the students know is that there's no tag backs. So this orange student can't tag the black student until they tag another student. So that just keeps it fair, and it keeps students tagging and going for different students during the game. So some of the modifications you might want to make to this game is you might want to change the type of transport skill. So you could use running, hopping, skipping, galloping, just to name a few. You may want to increase or decrease the amount of space or the amount of hoops, just to encourage more movement or a little bit less movement. You might also want to decrease or increase the amount of gym space the students have to move around in. If you create a smaller gym space for the students, it'll encourage more dodging and a little bit more agility and quickness and running. And if you increase the gym space, you will probably have more students kind of standing around, as it'll be harder to tag students in the gym. And then lastly, you can play the game where taggers may throw the ball or kick the ball at their opponents, just to work different skills. So I hope you guys like the game, and yeah, I hope you enjoy playing this one at your school.